This is Beer in Front, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet. I'll talk about some great beer, and I'll also talk to various people in and around the beer industry to get their stories all about beer. That's Beer in Front, and it's coming up now. Welcome to episode 205, the April 16th edition of Beer in Front. I'm your host, Dave Zalatoris, and Beer in Front is a proud Odd Pods Media Network member. May 3rd is the beginning of Illinois Craft Beer Week. This week is all about the great state of Illinois. I'm going to talk again to Ray Stout, who is the executive director of the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild. Stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in just a minute. Some other news. My back. So, I'm recording this Monday night, the 15th. I talked to Ray earlier this afternoon. I had a procedure scheduled for the 16th. So I'm rushing to get stuff done, rushing to talk to Ray, got to edit this. I get a call. Now, the procedure is supposed to be in like 12, 14 hours, whatever. I get a call. Well, this was never approved. You can't have it. So now what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to sit around until my next appointment in May and be in pain and not sleep. So I got another appointment with this jamoke on Wednesday, and we'll see what happens. Now, I talked to my attorney, and they're working on getting this scheduled. It's been a nightmare, but I could hardly sit. I could hardly stand. I could hardly walk, and I'm getting tired of it. So if you see, and thankfully, the nice lady at the Jewel, I'm at the Jewel just to pick up some stuff for dinner. I'm walking with the cart because my back is killing me. I don't have a lot of stuff, but I need the cart. So I'm looking around because I'm not that guy. I return carts to the cart rack, and the woman saw me, and she was like, "Oh, let me take that for you, sir." So there are good people in the world. Who knew that I would one day be sir? But thank you to the nice woman at the Jewel this afternoon. Also, be on the lookout. Last week I was on PFM After Dark, and I gave these guys some malort. So I'll include the link there, but if you want to check that out, check out PFM After Dark. I didn't see a lot of beer news for the week, but one thing that I noticed, and also when I was on my friend Rod J's show last Thursday, he mentioned it, but North Coast is coming out with a new barrel-aged Old Rasputin. This is going to be aged 2 years in barrels from Westward Whiskey. You check out my friend Rod J. He's been on the show before. I'm on his show every now and then. He's going to do an unboxing video of that one soon. He was able to score a bottle of that. I had this, and I don't know what bourbon company it was. It was probably 15 years ago. I mean, I've loved Old Rasputin for 25 years now. Friends of mine gave me for my birthday a barrel-aged Old Rasputin, and it came with like a chunk from one of the barrels that they used, and that was just outstanding. I asked around. I went to my bottle shop during the week, Bottles and Cans over on Lincoln Avenue, and asked if they were going to get it, and he didn't think they were, so I might have to check Binny's, or I'm going to live through Rod J, and hopefully this beer is as good as I remember. In other beer news, I'm going to start another thing going, and this is called the Beer Media Group. There's a lot of people like me. We're beer enthusiasts. We're advocates for craft beer. We're not influencers or anything like that, but we just like craft beer. And whether we talk about it on podcasts like this or on video, some people write, they do blogs. There's a group of people similar to me and what I do and my friends do. So I think I'm going to start this group up. I've talked to a couple people and they're enthused that we could kind of kick around ideas with each other. I did secure the naming rights to the website, so I do have Beer Media Group. There's nothing on it right now, but I think this will be an avenue for, different beer companies, different PR reps who could reach out and see these are like-minded people. And, I'm going to try to keep it to just advocates and enthusiasts. I'm not going to get into the influencer route. I mean, God bless you. You do you. You do your thing. That's not for me. Because one, no one wants to see me in an Italian Speedo holding up a can of beer. No one wants to see that. So I think I'm just going to make this for the people that are advocates and enthusiasts of craft beer, and we'll see where that goes. But I'll give you more details when I launch the website for that.
Hey, this is Grabbing Brisket Podcast. Join us every Monday where we talk about the latest trends in barbecue, interviews with world top pitmasters, celebrity cooks,
like Wee Man from Jackass,
and musicians.
Like Rich O'Toole?
So check us out. We do beer reviews, barbecue fails.
So many fires.
Dude, a lot of people just burn their houses down for no reason.
We also talk about cocaine hippos versus Beth Gators,
Learn how to make some tailgate gravy.
altercations with Texas Rangers.
People throwing Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, so check out grabthebrisket.com for podcast info, viral social media posts, and so much more.
Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I don't care what Andy Williams sings. Illinois Craft Beer Week 2024 will be from May 3rd through the 10th. The week will begin with the always outstanding Beer Under Glass, held this year once again at Union Station in Chicago. Other events throughout the week will be the Summer Passport, this really cool-looking pint glass for 2024, and much more. Joining me now for his semi-annual appearance is the executive director of the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild, Ray Stout. Ray, welcome back, brother. How you doing today?
It's good to be back, and I'm doing okay. We're getting ready for Illinois Craft Beer Week, so lots of things in the hopper.
I haven't been to Beer Under Glass since it moved to Union Station. I know, last year was around my birthday. The year before it was my anniversary, so I'm psyched about it. What can I expect this year?
So this year is really an extension of and the growth of where we are as an industry, is where we are as a guild. And so, right now you could anticipate well over 100 breweries. I think we're around 125 breweries, each, with 2 to 3 to 4 unique pours of beer. And so, in terms of an event, I keep going back to from a value proposition, having the opportunity to sample, 200 beers for $50 is really unheard of in the modern economy.
Yeah, and they're not like your regular stuff. These are generally special releases too, or a lot of them are.
Without a doubt. And so, the line in the sand that we like to draw with our events compared to, any other brew festival you can go to is that this is a festival for the brewers by the brewers, right? So people are always going to bring their best or their most hyped releases or, their new barrel program that they're working on. So you're going to try beers here that you're not going to be able to get at other beer festivals, and, won't be able to get through distribution. And so, my favorite thing is when I walk into a brewery and all I see is crowlers. Yeah. Because, or you are going to get a beer that you're not able to get anywhere else. And this saves you driving all over the state of Illinois to do that.
I remember, I don't know, it was 2017, 2018. And my friends and I always still talk about this beer from Pipeworks. They did one, was Imperial End of Days. And we still remember this beer and talk about it. If you ever seen that, out and about, I'm like, dude, I've never seen it. If I had, I would pick it up.
And that's exactly right. Is that that's what one of the things that I love about the craft brewing industry, because it's all about innovating and it's all about trying new things. And, and as a consumer, and that's exactly what Bug gives you. Beer Under Glass Bug, we actually call it that. But it gives you the opportunity to explore breweries and explore styles of beer that you might not order because, a pint of beer at a bar or brewery is $5, $6, $7, $8. And so you want to make sure you're getting into something that you like. So the best thing I always tell people is, just ask for a sample.
Yeah. Well, and if people are going this year, I will be there. Look me up because I have a bunch of scorecards that I could write down what I had. So if you want to remember what you had, you'll know where to find it. Are there any plans to go back to Garfield Park after their renovations are done?
These events have really outgrown Garfield Park. And,
okay.
The one thing that I did love about Garfield Park is the option to have an indoor setting in the event of inclement weather. But I've heard so many stories of people wading through knee-deep water and mud just trying to sample beer. And sometimes we have great weather in May, but a lot of times it rains a lot. And so having an indoor setting for this event moving forward is something that, puts us in a position to be more successful, because what I don't think people realize is that this is our second largest fundraiser for our nonprofit organization. And so, we want to make sure that is as widely attended as possible, while still maintaining, intimate feeling, as intimate as you can get in Union Station, but not overselling the event.
Yeah. I mean, and it's good too for people that aren't from the city. It's right there in Union Station. So you could take a train right there. You don't have to take an Uber. You don't have to, take a train or, the L or a cab or anything. That's like the perfect spot.
Without a doubt, there's nothing more accessible in the state of Illinois from across the state than Union Station. And also, an important point that I'm talking to more and more brewers is that it now is one of the more sustainable beer events in the country in terms of environmental sustainability, because most people are bringing reusable kegs. We're using glassware that is reusable. They're not thrown away. And we're encouraging people to arrive in public transportation, unlike any other beer event, I think, in this country.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Are tickets still available? Could people still pick up a ticket?
Definitely, tickets are still available. We'll sell tickets till we reach our magic number of 1,500. That's our cap for this event, because like I said before, we want to make sure that we're maintaining, an environment that you're not packed in and you're not waiting for beer. So we want to make sure people aren't waiting in lines for beer. And so tickets are still available. There's two types of tickets. There's the general admission ticket that gets you in at 5:30, and you have from 5:30 to 8:30 of, free reign of all the brewers. And then there's a VIP ticket, which gets you in an hour early. And so when people ask me what ticket to buy, I always encourage them to do the VIP ticket, and so they could get the lay of the land a little bit before it fills up a little more. But and that's only a $10 difference. So VIP tickets are $60.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real pro move too. Yeah, the VIP to get you in that first hour. Not that you're gonna pound down beers for an extra hour, but the fact that you could get to the releases before everyone else gets in there. Yeah, that's definitely the pro move to do.
That's right. Get the lay of the land, figure out who has the crazy barrel program beer and who has these one-offs, and what,
Sure.
And visit breweries that you have been excited to get to that may not have gotten to yet.
Now, like at Fobab, you had the Lager Lounge, and you had I think Revolution did the hop water. Are you going to do something like that?
We're still figuring out the exact layout. We're definitely going to have a food area.
Okay.
Pretty quickly is that people want to, fortify themselves during these events. So we're going to have some food. We're also, I don't want to spill the beans too much, but we're also talking to another organization that produces alcohol that may want some of their members here as well. And so more information about that will be coming soon.
Well, I'm doing a series, and I'm going to let you be the judge on this. So I'm doing a series on Drink Illinois Beer for the podcast and videos, trying to feature as many different breweries from the state of Illinois. Now, I see on your website there's over 100 different ones that are listed. If I check off on the third, do I still need to hit that brewery up, or am I good at beer under glass?
In terms of your own success, yes. I would count that as a check. But in terms of our summer passport program, which also starts May 3rd, That's really, we're really encouraging people to get out and get around the state and visit the brewery.
All right, right. You drive a hard bargain. Talking about the passport now, can people pick that up at Beer Under Glass as well as participating breweries?
So all of those are only going to be available at participating breweries.
Okay.
So the whole point of the passport is, like I said, to get people out and about. What's so cool about it is last year, some back of the napkin math, it helped generate over $200,000 for Illinois breweries. And the thing that I always like to remind people of, these are small local independent businesses. So every single penny matters. And so, we encourage people to get involved in the passport, pick up their passport and, start exploring the state starting on May 3rd. One thing we did do this year was we changed the points and reward system.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got some feedback that, hey, 50 breweries is a good amount of breweries to visit over a couple month period.
Yeah.
While plenty of people did it, we had well over 300 passports come in fully completed. We wanted to get it more accessible and more exciting for
Mm-hmm.
other people. And so now we have prize drawings at 25 stamps, 50 stamps, 75 stamps, and 100 stamps. And, so as well as another prize for people who are participating in the pint glass program. So, we're kind of bringing all this together, but the idea is go out and explore the state. We're calling it Adventure Crafted in Illinois.
Yeah. You mentioned the pint glass too. Like, didn't you have like the last couple of years, like you take a picture and use like a hashtag and then like winners can get like a gift card to an Illinois brewery?
That's exactly right. So we're setting up exactly the same program this year with a little bit of a twist. So when you see our pint glasses, and I really hope they sell out really quickly as they usually do, but all over the pint glass are different kind of lesser known Illinois landmarks,
Yes.
right? And so the idea is that you'll take your glass and travel around to those landmarks and take a picture with the glass in those landmarks and tag my IL great beer.
Okay, cool. What else throughout the week is happening besides like Beer Under Glass, the pint glass, and the passport?
What makes Craft Beer Week such an important part of Illinois is that it's the culture that it brings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all about getting people to breweries, bottle shops, and retailers. And so, we are putting it on our brewery members and on our retail partners to host events across the state, and we've given them the tools to promote the events. And so it's our hope to kind of bring that statewide excitement and statewide hype around this week that goes well beyond, a really great event to Beer Under Glass or, some kind of scheduled events like we did in the past years.
This is really cool. It's fun to talk about festivals and events, but events like Craft Beer Week and FOBAB, they help to fund the guild and all the initiatives you do throughout the year, correct?
That's absolutely right. So, when I referenced our nonprofit, the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild is the nonprofit trade organization that represents the craft breweries. We do education, we hold conferences, and we make sure that the beer in the state is the best beer it can be. We do a lot of marketing and promotion, Craft Beer Week, for example, but we also do a lot of legislative advocacy, whether that's in Chicago or around the state. Most recently, one of our accomplishments in Chicago is the extension of the outdoor dining program for all breweries in the city. People didn't realize that breweries were left out of the extension of outdoor dining because they operate in manufacturing districts. So, we went to the city hall and advocated and lobbied for the extension, and we won that for our members. So, there's a couple of pieces of legislation that we're working pretty hard on. One would allow for rewards programs as well as mug clubs to be formally legalized in the state of Illinois. These are programs that are essential to the craft brewing community. It's actually how a lot of them fund their very lean months of January and February is through those pint sales of mug clubs. And so, it's just become incredibly more and more important. And, advocating for brewers to maintain those rewards programs and is essential to their survival. There's lots of other great things happening in Springfield. Some we agree with and some we don't. We are fighting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to help this industry, recover and grow and reach consumers because, once you get an Illinois craft beer in somebody's hand, you'll see a light turn up. So we're making great beer. We're making great beer in this state. We're employing thousands of people. We contribute about $3 billion to the Illinois economy. And it's just a no-brainer for Springfield and Chicago alike to support our initiatives.
You were just talking about the omnibus bill. What about Senate Bill 2193? Now, did that ever pass? I was trying to find info online a couple hours ago.
That was the shipping bill?
Yeah.
So shipping was met with pretty intense opposition from the distribution tier.
Okay.
A lot of what we're able to get done in Springfield is based on getting agreement between, all the affected parties. And, they were able to stand up an argument that looked something like, hey, if you allowed for the shipping of beer, it would replace the need for people to go to the store and buy beer, which is just bunk. I think most people realize that, but it resonated with enough legislators to derail this. There is a bill this session which would allow for a third party delivery of alcohol, and so that's more of like a DoorDash kind of situation.
All right,
and that's something that we are working on, and hopefully trying to get brewers included in that, because right now they are purposefully excluded again because of the topsy-turvy world of Springfield, where people can convince legislators that it might not be in the best interest of the entire market to allow this to happen. But, there's lots of data on our side that show that it doesn't derail the retail market at all. It actually helps it grow. And look at the case of wine, right? There'd be no wine on the shelves at Target if shipping of wine ruined the 3-tier wine system.
Yeah. And, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, but shipping beer, and I know from sending beer out to friends, that's not cheap. So no one's going to sit and order, a 6-pack of Half Baker when I could just drive 10 minutes and go pick it up.
Without a doubt, it's not a replacement. It's just an enhancement, right?
Yeah.
Of access. And, it's all about reaching consumers and all about access. And, at this point, consumer access is still stymied by Illinois law. And that's why it's so important to help fund our organization, because these are the fights that we're having, and legislators don't get elected to Springfield to go there to fix alcohol policy, right?
Yeah.
And so keeping that in the front of minds of legislators is something that takes a full court press 12 months a year to realize, because if you talk to the average consumer, they must say, hey, everything must be great with craft breweries. I see them all over the place, and there's craft beer everywhere. But the fact is that there's laws written in 1934 in this state that we are working to modernize every single day.
Yeah. So far, granted, the weekend was gorgeous here. I know driving by a couple places, like I'm closest to Burning Bush, and that place was packed over the week. So that's good. I know I was over at the newest one, Demo, on their opening day, and there was a line, a block long to get in there when they opened. So, it's good to see. It's good to see, some of these breweries, recover, or in Demo's case, start out on a high note.
It's definitely an industry that's still continuing to grow. The past 2 years were marked by a lot of closures, right? We lost somewhere between 40 and 50 breweries in 2022 and 2023. For a couple of reasons. Number one is that, consumers did not come back to tap rooms at pre-pandemic levels. It's starting to trickle up a little bit, which is great. But the other is that a lot of breweries took on an immense amount of debt to stay viable during the pandemic. And, that mixed with increases in price and operation, I think breweries opted to close rather than continue to weather those storms. But things have looked to settle down a little bit. We've had a couple of breweries open. Industry Ales is another good one right downtown that just opened in Chicagoland. And so, we're starting to see the recovery. And, I will give a plug for our buddies at Burning Bush. I know they've been victim of a couple of pieces of vandalism and break-ins, and, and that's such a sad story, but to see people out there supporting them. And I encourage you guys to support them and Brent, and they're doing beer the right way. And it's a really cool space.
Yeah. And actually Demo got hit with the same thing. They put a thing out. Somebody broke into their like glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because I know Burning Bush just, they had a sign up on their window yesterday, like they're just going to credit card only now because, in case people are trying to break in to rob them. It's a shame.
No, it is, and breweries operate, and my favorite breweries are in those areas, and not to say either one of these breweries are in these areas that are kind of like, growing, expanding out and, sprawling, but yes, it's a very sad state of affairs that, businesses are being vandalized and broken into, and, more and more I hear about breweries moving to, card only, options just because for the safety of their employees and and their businesses.
Well, Ray, I appreciate you coming on again. I'm looking forward to seeing you and getting in person at Beer Under Glass. You could pick up tickets. Head over to illinoisbeer.org. You could get the regular ticket for $50 or the VIP ticket for $60. Union Station, you could take Metro right downtown and you're in there. You don't have to worry about anything. It's always a great event. Ray, thank you so much again, brother. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks so much. And I want one of those tie-dye t-shirts.
I'll look you up. What size are you? I'll hook you up.
XX. I'm a big guy.
Right. I got you. I'll see you on the 3rd.
See you there.
All right. After talking with Ray, I need to drink a beer from Illinois. So I'm going to have one from Sketchbook. They have 2 locations, one in Evanston, one in Skokie. This is Hop Thirsty Void. This is a double IPA. This has V9, Mosaic, and Cryopop Eldorado hops in there. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Sketchbook. Let's crack open the Hop Thirsty Void. Pours nice, has a really good foam on it here. Nice color, it's a hazy IPA. Smells really good. I get a big, whiff of melon in the aroma. I think it smells fantastic. No, this really tastes good. Get big melon notes in here. Now, according to the can, this says that it's a tropical stone fruit and citrus. I'm getting more melon, but we'll see as I drink this if those other notes come through. But I think the taste is really good. This is 7.6% alcohol. I think it's just a great, double IPA, double hazy IPA. I think this is really good. I could see maybe some of the stone fruit now, but no, this is outstanding. I mean, Sketchbook puts out such great beer. I haven't been to the Skokie location. I've only been to the one in Evanston, and that's one of my favorite tap rooms in Illinois. So if you see anything from Sketchbook, it's great. You're not going to be disappointed. Put it in the cart, and remember to drink Illinois beer. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Beer in Front. I thank you very much for listening. I want to thank once again Ray Stout, the Executive Director of the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild. You could check out their website and get tickets for Beer Under Glass at illinoisbeer.org. It's a great festival. I've been to it before. For $50, like we were talking about, you're not going to get a better deal. Easy around Chicago. You're right there at Union Station. So check out illinoisbeer.org. You can get a ticket. You'll see me there. I've got scorecards. So if you see me there, say, yo, Dave, how about a scorecard? I want to write down what I had. So you're not going to be a drunken idiot on Untapped at 8 o'clock trying to remember what you drank. You could just write it down and then try to read your own writing after 10 samples. But look for me at Beer Under Glass. Have a great week, everyone. I will talk to you next week. And remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet.